Hi everyone, Nikki Buckelew here at Buckelew Realty Group, and welcome back to the truth about buying and selling your home in Oklahoma City. And so the question I'm going to cover today is, how do I find the right realtor for me? And obviously I could say what Chris told me to say, which is just call us, we're probably the right realtor, and if we're not, we'll let you know. But I realize not everybody's here in Oklahoma City, and not everybody is ready to hire Buckelew Realty Group. So if you're still interviewing agents, then here's the real answer to the question. There are about 4 things that people, generally speaking, measure whether or not a realtor is right for them. And so I'm going to go over those 4 things, and then you may have some things you want to add to this list, but like I said, these are the 4 major things. Number 1, experience. And what do I mean by experience? The right realtor for you is going to have experience selling properties like yours that are also circumstantially like yours. So if you own land, they should probably have some experience selling land. If you have an acreage or you have farmland, then that agent should probably have experience with that. Similarly, if you live in a single family home in a neighborhood, that agent should have experience with that. Now, I wouldn't go so narrow that you think the agent has to have experience selling lots of homes in your specific neighborhood. That used to be the case probably when I first started in real estate back in the early 90s, but now with the internet and the ability for us to do research online, they don't have to be that specifically experienced. As long as they know how to sell a single family home in a neighborhood, you're probably good. But experience does matter if you have really unique circumstances. Now, the second one is communication style. And you get to know a realtor when you interview them, right? And so we want you to interview us, and we want you to interview more than one realtor if you feel like you need to. And in that interview, you get a feel for how they communicate. Are you speaking the same language? Do you understand what they're telling you? When you ask a question, do they answer it adequately? Do you feel like you got your question answered? Are you on the same page? So communication style. And then the third one is, are you basing your decision on price or what that agent charges? For some people, it's all about price. They want the cheapest realtor that they can find who will negotiate the lowest possible commission. And if that's your one of your criteria, then you're going to want to interview agents for that purpose. Similarly, there are people who say, you know what, I want to pay a fair price to my agent, and I want to make sure that for that price they do certain things, and that has got to be communicated. So just make sure that if you're negotiating the commission down to a lower price, that you understand what it is that they will or will not do based on what they're getting paid. So it's all about communication, regardless of whether you're paying for a full service real estate agent or someone who is a low budget real estate agent. The fourth one is character and personality. And I put those 2 together because it depends on how you look at it. But character and personality are really more about the person and less about what they do or the services they provide. And some people, they just hit it off. Like, you really like them, you feel like you've known them your whole life after meeting with them for just a few minutes, and that feels really good to you. And if that's important, then you should interview agents until you feel really comfortable with the person that you're talking to. Now, character is a little bit different. Character involves things like trust and integrity and values. Make sure that you and they align with what's important to you. If you're asking them to do something unethical and they're not willing to do something unethical, then there's definitely a values misalignment. And similarly, if you want to make sure you're not doing anything unethical, you want to make sure that that agent shares the same views as you do about situations. So anytime there's a question, have the conversation. Where do you stand on this issue? Where do you stand on that issue? How would you handle this scenario or that scenario? Now remember, this is an interview. And I think people forget this sometimes. Like, they'll call a real estate agent and they assume that we're all the same and that we do things the same way and we act the same way. And that is so far from the truth. Every real estate agent and every team member is a little bit different. So make sure that you don't just take someone at face value and assume that everyone is the same. If you're not comfortable with an agent, interview until you are comfortable. Once you found somebody that's a fit for you, just make sure that you communicate with them effectively along the way if changes need to be made. We look forward to interviewing with you. If we can ever be of service, just give us a call. We'd love to sit and visit with you and get to know you. Until then, make it a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.